Those of us who are environmentalists and conservationists, are often asked, what was that moment when you found your commitment? But I did have one experience in my life that really did make a difference. It was ascending a ribbon of ice on a peak called Mount Kenya in Africa. And there I was on the summit of this mountain, right on the equator, having gone up this ice. And very soon after that, the ice fell off and it's never come back. So no one can ever do that climb again. I had seen these profound changes in the geology of the earth right in front of my eyes in my own lifetime. That's profound. Patagonia is a privately held company, and as its founder, Yvon Chouinard, says, that means we get to do whatever we want to do. And what he and his family want to do with this company is use it as a tool for environmental protection. Now, big multinationals can't do that. They're beholden to deliver value to their shareholders. The environmental problems that all of us face are global. We all know that. They're so large that no single company, no single government can tackle them. That's why at Patagonia we work with other businesses. We work with them collectively to try to find collective solutions to these global problems. Climate change, freshwater supply, deforestation, ocean acidification. All these global problems require global answers. That's why Patagonia can't do this alone. That's why it works with other companies. That's why it forms coalitions of companies to collectively find solutions to these problems. We co-founded the Sustainable Apparel Coalition with Walmart, a coalition that is now the biggest trade organization for apparel and footwear companies on planet Earth. A coalition that's collectively dedicated to reducing its footprint on the planet. And at the beginning of that effort, we never really imagined in advance that we could do something with a giant company like Walmart that would make a really effective difference. In some ways, it was a David and Goliath partnership. And it was also so unusual that it got the attention of a lot of other CEOs and other companies that we wanted to come in and join us in these efforts. We pride ourselves in transparency. Many companies claim to be transparent. At Patagonia, what that means for us is our willingness to tell the good and the bad. We ran a full-page ad in the New York Times with a photograph of our best-selling jacket and the bold headline above it, "Don't buy this jacket." And we did that because we wanted to shock people into reading the copy so that they could find out what the environmental footprint of that jacket really was. So they could find out that no matter how hard we've worked to reduce the footprint on the planet from that jacket, it still used 20 gallons of water, it still gave off pounds of CO2 emissions, it still used a lot of energy shipping it from its point of origin in Asia. We wanted to challenge people to think about consumption. Now, no large multinational whose primary responsibility is to their shareholders could ever do that, but we can't. People often say, well, if you're a mountain climber, you know how to take risks. But the really important lesson is not taking risks, it's managing risks. It's coming back from the mountains alive instead of dead. Those are really valuable skills that I've taken back to my work life and applied them here. Maybe one of the most valuable things I've learned is tenacity. I'm now 67 years old, but I have no plans to retire. When I look at the environmental problems that we're facing globally, when I look at them objectively, when I look at them with science, you can't help but become pessimistic. It's a stake in your heart. But a good friend of mine, David Quammen, once reminded me that the trouble with pessimism and the trouble with despair that comes out of it is that as a response, not only is it useless, it's also no fun. So, let's find solutions and let's have fun doing it.